Well, welcome back, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, on the live stream, courtesy of our partners at Alpha Live, that this Shenington circuit is not as dry as what it was when Callum Gunnings did his lap for us on the onboard camera yesterday. In fact, what was a very sunny morning has suddenly turned into a slight deluge. And you're looking down from the banking area, the viewing bank, looking down at Hanger Straight. On the right-hand side of your screen, you've got the start-finish line with the green building in the centre of your screen. That is the timing and scoring building. And directly in the foreground of your camera shot there, that is the, well, it's a straight, but the karts are constantly turning on that bit of straight tarmac as they come through the flat-out Hanger corner and into the Wilkins complex, which is just to the left of your screen, out of picture at the moment on this shot. The Wilkins complex, named after one of the founding members of the Shenington Kart Racing Club, the late Tony Wilkins, who was then a key figure in the rise of British historic karting in the UK. And Tony, an incredibly popular and charismatic figure around the karting paddock in the formative years of our sport in the UK, sadly passed away several years ago. So this circuit, as I said before, home of the Shenington Kart Racing Club. 1,018 metres long. There is a gearbox loop down at the far, far back end of the picture there that we don't use. Obviously that takes the distance to 1,200 metres. But this has been a fixture of karting in the UK since the early 1960s. We are in Oxfordshire, in England, not far from the beautiful Stratford-on-Avon. And yesterday's practice sessions were held, well, the morning, the DRS Academy, which is held as part of every round of the Daniel Ricciardo series. And you can see there the dummy grids, the academy drivers, the very youngest drivers who aren't racing now. They were in conditions all like this yesterday. We can see karts actually being taken off the dummy grid now. The decision was taken by our clerk at the course, Matt Daniels, to delay the start as the rain started pouring, because all these DRS62 drivers aged 7 to 12, they are the youngest drivers. They're on slick tyres at the moment, but as you can see, there are drivers and karts being picked up because the rain is absolutely pouring down now, and of course it would be not wise to send out these youngsters on slick tyres. So I believe that there's been a delay, and I believe that you can see some drivers and some mechanics and dads in the background frantically now trying to put wet tyres on the karts and maybe some wet suits on the children, because they're going to get very cold and wet. This is absolutely the heaviest rain that we have seen there. Now you're looking across the exit of Cafe Corner onto the dummy grid, and Cafe Corner is just there, the brown building on the left-hand side of your screen that you can see. That is the scrutineering building, and also where the commentary booth is situated. So I'm overlooking Cafe Corner here at the circuit, and of course hello to everyone at the circuit, and hello to everyone watching the live stream from wherever you are around the world. We just heard that Jasmine Taylor has got family. Her sister Goffy is out watching in Thailand, which is it's about 8 o'clock in the evening out there, so having a happy Sunday evening in Thailand. And of course Daniel Ricciardo himself, the man who has put his name to the championship. The karts are all Daniel Ricciardo kart branded karts. He's racing in Montreal in Canada this weekend, and I'm sure we'll be keeping a keen interest of what is happening as the day progresses, for he has his own business to attend to.
11 o'clock. We've got 10 minutes to change the toilets.
So we have just been given word. The first race will begin at 11 o'clock, so there is approximately 10 minutes to go for the drivers to change their tyres, and of course Daniel Ricciardo series, everybody on the same equipment, which is key. This championship is a lot of families. You know, the atmosphere in the paddock is very, very friendly, very cordial indeed. And the drivers, you can see there on the left-hand side of the screen, you're looking at now the big Daniel Ricciardo series race awning. There are several drivers that are working out of that as part of the team here, and they've got people running their karts for them. But there are lots of families and other sort of lad and dad teams, or lad and lady teams, because as we said earlier, this is of all the national championships in the United Kingdom, this championship has the highest number of female drivers in it. Now we're looking at very, very, very wet hanger straight there. You can see the exit of the Bruno chicane. The Bruno chicane, which splits runway straight and hanger straight, that's named after Bruno Ferrari, the late great Bruno Ferrari. He's got an Italian family, as one might guess from his name, but he was the only driver in history to win 3 British karting championships in the same day. He did that at Little Rissington in the Cotswolds in 1967, I believe. And of course, with the nature of karting now, to win 3 British titles in a day is impossible. So, looking down, and there is the scene live down on the dummy grid. The number 4 driver in the DRS62, that's Jamie Gurney, and Jamie helping out his dad there, change on from the slick tyres. You've got the left rear tyre on that kart. You can see there's no tread on it, that's a slick tyre. And there's the number 100 kart, that is Hudson Cross. Hudson currently 17th in the championship after 2 rounds. The opening round of the series at Clay Pigeon Raceway in Dorset, and then the second round at Glanagorse in North Wales. There's the number 7 driver, Craig Evans. Craig on the wet tyres, you can see there, for those of you that are new to karting, those knobbled wet tyres there, that disperses the water and gives you the grip you need. And of course the slick tyres, no treads at all. So Craig Evans there with full wet tyres, and of course we've given the drivers those extra few minutes to help the dads make sure the tyres are bolted on correctly, because in karting, when this does happen, it has done occasionally. There's the number 92 looking at there, that is Ewan Scott. Now Ewan with the black plates and the white numbers, so this is an interesting thing. So the rookies in the championship have got black plates and white numbers on them. They start the 3 heat races from the back of the grid, but there's a lot of them, so they take up the middle and the back of the grid, but their job is to get as many places as they can in the heats, and then for the final later on, they qualify wherever they do on merit. Now Ewan came to the DRS Academy for the youngest drivers in the class that are just starting out in karting. He came to that yesterday morning, liked it so much, decided to stay for the weekend. There's Jasmine Taylor in kart number 84. Jasmine, another one of the rookies, 20th in the championship, and we spoke to her just before the start. She's got family over here from Thailand watching, and there's her dad Andy there just making sure that the front wheels are bolted on correctly, and of course the setup changes, but again, family watching out in Thailand. And the number 24 kart, Freddie Cox. Freddie just helping out put these tyres on. There's the difference between the slick tyres. So Freddie's mechanic, the slick tyre comes off, and of course in the dry, that slick tyre gives lots of grip indeed. It heats up and it sticks to the track and gives the drivers the speed, and certainly through the corners that they need. And of course, but in the rain, there's absolutely nothing to help that tyre grip the surface. So it would be dangerous to take these younger drivers out on a wet track, and it's not just damp, it's soaking. Now the grid will be, we're looking down there as the 60 kart is next. The number 60 kart is Riley Price. He's due to start 16th in this race. There are 26 drivers in the DRS62 class. Riley Price is the 6th of the rookie drivers in the field. So we've got 10 non-rookies and then 16 rookies, and by rookies I mean it's their first season, not necessarily in karting, it's their first season in this championship. There's number 113 kart, that's Daniel Sabula. Now Daniel, well, watch for him, the Polish driver. Yesterday in practice they split the DRS62 practice sessions between rookies and non-rookies. Daniel went fastest out of everybody, rookies and the non-rookies, so watch for Daniel Sabula. There's the number 106 kart, that's Aaron Mensah. And you can see on his kart there, he's got the Union flag as well as the Ghanaian flag. And so he's representing not only the UK, but also the country of Ghana in Africa. And on his race boots, yesterday, and of course they might be covered up by his wetsuits now, on his race boots, he's got the words "Stay Humble" on them. And he's putting his wetsuit on there because that's there he is, stay humble. He says he doesn't like to show off, he doesn't like to, big up his own achievements. He likes to stay focused, and he's putting the wetsuit on because, of course, the drivers, everyone's thinking, the karts will get soaking. What about the poor drivers that are out there racing? So you put the wetsuits on so that you save on the pneumonia when you come in, because it can get very cold and very wet. And these DRS62 karts, they're travelling at well over 50 miles an hour. So there's Aaron Mensah getting his wetsuit on. Now there's the number 91 kart being put down on the ground. That's Lucius McDermott. And Lucius, with the green and white crash helmet there, Mr. McDermott saying hello from Haywood, just 9 years old. And it's incredible to think that a lot of these drivers are still in primary school. I said it before, they go back into their lessons on Monday morning, and he would be in like year 4 in UK primary school age, and I don't know what they do in year 4, I don't know, colouring or something. And comes like, what do you do? Well, I race my kart at the British Championship at over 50 miles an hour on the weekend. Here's the young lady, Sherry Ann Powell, starting 26, so she's starting shotgun on the field. Now, of all the rookies in the DRS62 class, Sherry Ann Powell is one of the highest placed. She's 9th in the championship at the moment. We'll be speaking to Sherry Ann later on. She's a great little character in the paddock. She finished 7th in the final at the last round of the championship at Glanagorse in North Wales. So we'll watch out for the number 76 cart. And you can see that pink tape on her airbox. And you don't be thinking, oh, well, it's just because she's a girl. Not at all. That is to cover the air inlets in the airbox there, so that the rain doesn't get in there and the rain doesn't start messing around the water in the engine. So that's why the tape is over there. This is one of the most accessible forms of national kart racing in the UK. There's not only a great team here to help there. There's a thumbs up from Ruben Edwards, number 109. So I'm not sure what he's from Weymouth, down on the south coast of England. Not quite sure what the weather down in Weymouth is looking. I would imagine it's a little bit better than this. There's number 116, late entry here this weekend. Driving number 116, that is Daniel Weir, another driver who turned up at the DRS Academy yesterday. Now the schedule, due to this delay, has been revised, and there is a revised schedule now available from the Daniel Ricciardo Series Race Control Unit for those people here at the circuit. And of course you've got clerk of the course there, Matt Daniels, at the front of the grid. He's got the early weather radar detection system placed on the top of his head. He's taken care to make sure he's got no hair on that top of that head, so that he can feel the rain and give the call earlier than most. But he's just given the call that 5 minutes to go, and that's really just to make sure that everyone's got their wheels on safely. Nobody wants to rush to get the tyres on, go out, and halfway around the first lap at racing speeds you have a wheel fall off. So Jamie Gurney, number 4, that is driver who's 4th in the championship, a pair of podium finishes so far this season. Jamie's going to be starting 3rd, so he's going to be starting on the inside of the 2nd row. That is a sort of rolling lap, and then one rolling lap, and then a rolling start. So Jamie Gurney will be starting the number 4 kart from 3rd on the grid. The number 6 kart, that's Archie Heron. Archie, well, that's the number 5 kart, sorry, that's Aidan Hassan. So there's your championship leader, Aidan Hassan. He's starting 2nd. We've got Jake Bell in kart 75, who's going to be starting from pole. Aidan Hassan, the 12-year-old from Milton Keynes, is going to be starting from P2 on the grid. He has won both finals so far this year. There's Aidan in the black and orange race suit. Interestingly enough, he's not wearing his wetsuit on, so the rain has actually stopped now. You can see on the tarmac surrounding the camera shot there's no more rain falling, and the track is soaking wet. But there's no more rain. There's Archie Heron starting 4th on the grid. Now Archie has got a big family here of support watching him, including Dottie the Beagle, who is been trotting around the paddock on her lead, of course. Yeah, there's a big representation from the Archie Heron fan club here today. And there's the grid. So we've got everybody now just being given help to get their carts off the stands. And this is the beauty of the Daniel Ricciardo series, that if you spend just one day in the paddock, you will realise that there are family members, friends, rival mechanics, other families helping all the drivers to get out there. It's a unique, it's a very old school way of doing karting. Of course, a lot of the people that are involved in the championship that have been involved in karting for say 20, 30 years. You see Andy Cox there, who's been involved in karting for 70 years. He's saying that he's trying to get an atmosphere here that that where everybody helps everyone else out, just like it used to be, and that they've certainly achieved that. And of course, you've got family members and other drivers, parents and mechanics, making sure that every driver has got their karts set and in the race, because of course this championship, where things are centralised, everyone's on the same chassis, they've got the same rules and regulations and some of the same settings to abide by. There are no big huge teams out there in the paddock. There's lots of individual operations, and of course families just starting out in karting. The drivers are learning the sport, but so are the parents, and that's where new parents, newcomers, and we do have a driver here this weekend, which we'll talk about in a little bit, who has never raced before. It's his very first time in a kart this weekend. He's made the requisite time to be allowed to race, but we'll see him, we'll talk about him a little bit later. There's Jamie Scott, starting 8th on the grid in kart number 9. Jamie, 10th in the championship. He's got a pair of 12th place finishes. That's right, thumbs up, Jamie. He's going to be looking to improve on that a little bit later on today in the final. So 3 heat races. The grids for the heats drawn at random. You've got the rookies with the black plates and the white numbers in the middle and the back of the grid. The more experienced drivers who have raced in this championship prior to 2019, they have got the yellow plates and the black numbers. They're up at the front. This weather will be a real test of skill. It's going to be a real leveler out there. Obviously, some of the newer drivers of the championship, they've got 1 or 2 drivers. Jacob Ashcroft in kart 117, Daniel Weir in kart 116, and Ewan Scott in kart 92. It's their very first time here racing. They may have done other bits of karting before, and some of them have come through the DRS Academy, but it's their first round of this series, and they're going out on a wet track on a 26 kart grid, and there's just one driver there at the back there, just last frantic adjustments there to make sure those rear tyres are on securely. And again, I have to say, give the credit to the officials here at DRS for giving everybody time to make sure that the drivers, that nobody is left behind. And you can see they're helping out the other parents, helping out making sure the visors are clear, and that's the spirit of competition that we're trying to promote here. So, as they're doing that, we'll be underway in racing for Heat 1 of DRS62 at Shenington very, very shortly. The signal is given. Engines are fired. 8 minutes plus 1 lap of racing due to begin any moment. The grid as follows. Pole position number 75, Jake Bell. On the outside of row number 1, it's Aidan Hassan in kart 5. Row 2, the number 4 kart of Jamie Gurney and the number 6 kart of Archie Heron. On row 3, the number 86 kart of Ali Hussein and the number 83 kart of Josh Turnbull. On row number 4, we've got kart 104, Finley Watson, and kart number 9 of Jamie Scott. On row 5, we've got number 100, Hudson Cross, and number 7, Craig Evans. Then we're into the rookies, and look at the spray as they head down towards Hanger Bend, absolutely soaking. And 102 there at the back of the field, just going through your picture, that is Mackenzie Taylor, and there's still rain falling at the far end of the circuit. This is how localised the showers are. There is rain falling at the far end of the circuit, but down on the dummy grid it is dry. Well, I say it's not dry, it's not raining anymore. The tarmac is absolutely soaking. So there's the pick view coming out of Cafe Corner through Pitts Bend and down towards Stratford. So the drivers lining up and the rest out of the Bruno chicane now. On to Hanger Straight. You can see the banking on the left. Behind that banking is the Shenington Glider Club. So there's Clark of the course, Matt Daniels, just giving them the signal. He wants them spread out. So the yellow flags past one of the experienced marshals here at Shenington. It's Pete Cox out there on the marshal post 8 by Hanger Corner into Wilkins. The complex, Wilkins complex, is going to be very, very testing and taxing in these conditions. Watch for a lot of late lunges coming into this corner. Bell, Hassan, Gurney, Heron, Hussein, Turnbull, Watson, Scott, Cross and Evans. Then the best of the rookies on the grid, the leading rookie, it's Hadley Simpson in kart 114 and Freddie Cox on row 6. Ewan Scott and Jasmine Taylor. We're going to go around again. That signal, hand in the air, says that Matt Daniels is not happy with the formation at the start. And we will go around one more time. There is the view of the start line. Drivers coming out of Cafe Corner through Pitts Bend and down Stratford Straight. Hard at the brakes. We're going to see a lot of drivers making mistakes in these conditions into Stratford Hairpin. That's the heaviest braking zone, the hardest corner on the circuit. Coming out wide there onto Runway Straight, and of course this entire circuit built on a former Second World War runway. You can see that the layout of the track, you know, we've got Runway Straight and Hanger Straight that runs at the left hand side of the old runway, and then Stratford Straight and Park Straight, which is the start finish straight really, running down the right hand side of the old runway. We'll try again as they head down Hanger Straight. the 75, blue crash helmet on your right-hand side of your screen. That's Jake Bell. Jake, 24th in the championship, so he hasn't had the best start to the season. And there's the championship leader with the green and white crash helmet, the orange and black race suit, number 5, Aidan Hassan. Aidan's job is to try and get across to the inside of turn number 1, Park Bend. And Jake's job is to try to keep Aidan on the outside there. And if he can keep his nose in front, that's going to make it hard for Aidan to take the lead into Cafe Corner. Here we go, though. For the first time here at Shenington in 2019, lights are red, lights are out, we are racing in DRS62. It's a great start from Aidan Hassan. He sweeps around the outside of the poleman into Cafe Corner. It's a good clean start through turn number 1 for everybody. Hassan has the lead as they come out of Pitts Bend and onto Stratford Straight. It is the 5 car, then the 6 of Archie Heron right behind him. So Jake Bell has dropped back a little bit, and already you can see a couple of the rookies, the number 24 cart of Freddie Cox making a couple of moves into Stratford Corner. Everybody round Stratford cleanly. Good driving there at the start of this 8-minute plus 1 lap race. Into the Bruno chicane for the first time. Hassan leads, Heron in second. I think that is the number 83 car of Josh Turnbull in third place with the blue and gold crash helmet. So a good start from Turnbull, who was 6th on the grid. Then is the number 4 cart of Jamie Gurney, who started P3. So the poleman, Jake Bell, has slipped back a little bit. And in fact, you've got the number 7 cart is next in line. That's Craig Evans. Jake Bell slipped back to 11th or 12th position at the end of lap number 1. In fact, timing the scoring screen says he slipped back to 14th already. Freddie Cox, Riley Price and Daniel Sabula have made up ground. They're in 8th, 9th and 10th. They're the leading rookies on your timing and scoring panel down the left-hand side of the screen. There's a move there from the number 4 cart of Jamie Gurney into Stratford Corner. You can see Jamie giving Josh Turnbull, the finger forward, saying, right, come on, let's work together. Let's push on. Don't try and repass me. Let's try and catch the 2 leaders. Hassan and Heron trying to break away. Hassan's lead is about 5-6 cart lengths over Heron. Archie Heron in second position. Then it's Gurney closing in cart number 4 as they head into Wilkins on lap number 2. 6.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Gurney trying to close that gap. Turnbull trying to hang on in 4th place. Behind them we've got Craig Evans and Finley Watson. Then the number 9 cart of Jamie Scott. Running a little bit wide there. That's Josh Turnbull, but that's just the preferred wet line around Cafe Corner. And look at the background there. Already Daniel Sabula in cart number 113. He's up into 8th position as we watch the leaders come through Stratford Corner. So Sabula in the first of the carts with the black and white number plates on them. You can see him just flashing across the bottom of your screen there. He is closing in on the experienced runners. He's got Freddie Cox right behind him in 9th place. There's the number 86 cart of Ali Hussein going through your screen. And up at the front, Archie Heron has been caught by Jamie Gurney. Now Jamie Gurney slides to the inside. He sticks his nose up the inside line into Wilkins, that black crash helmet. Can he get the cart slowed down? No. Heron does the perfect crossover move. In these slippery conditions, Archie Heron just couldn't get the cart slowed down onto the apex quick enough. But this battle is allowing Aidan Hassan to break away already. You can see coming through Cafe Corner. Gurney takes a tighter line coming out of the corner. Heron using a bit more of the track. It's going to give him more momentum. Now Gurney will try and slipstream with him on the run down towards Stratford Hairpin. Hard on the brakes. Does he not? Doesn't make a move. You can see the car understeering in these wet weather conditions, but they all make it round again. Turnbull is dropping away in 4th place. Oh, Sabula going very wide there at the top of your screen, coming out of Stratford Corner. Now heading up towards the Bruno chicane. Hassan leads by over 2 seconds from Heron Gurney. Then Turnbull, and Turnbull has got Evans right behind him in the 104 cart. He's got Watson right behind him in the 104 cart. Evans has fallen back into 6th position. So what can Finley Watson do? Oh, Turnbull runs a little bit wide coming out of Wilkins. This could give Finley Watson, the chance to make a move onto Park Straight as they complete another lap. They complete lap number 4 into Park Bend, and now Cafe Corner, not taking the traditional dry racing line. Oh, there's Turnbull on his preferred very wide line. There's Sabula going through. Sabula now catching the top 7, and he's pulling away from the rest of the rookies, led by Freddie Cox with Jacob Ashcroft in 10th, and it's Riley Price. And Turnbull runs a little bit wide at Stratford Hairpin. Up the inside goes Watson. Oh, Watson wheel to wheel there with Turnbull as they come out of Stratford Corner. Turnbull forced half a kart off the track, but gets back on, but does concede the position. Freddie Cox has got Jacob Ashcroft right behind him in the number 117 kart. Of course, Ashcroft, his first appearance of the season, doing very well up in the top 10. All 26 drivers are still running, so nobody has had a problem just yet. And there's the battle between Watson and Turnbull. That's for 4th and 5th place. They come into Cafe Corner. Look at Turnbull take that wide line. He's got to be careful if he runs out, just using all the track, not being careful not to run over the white lines at the exit of the corner. Keep within track limits. San has set the fastest lap of the race so far. The race leader 56.010. His lead is up to nearly 4 seconds now over Jamie Gurney. In fact, he's the only driver. Well, Jamie Scott in 7th place has set a 56.9. That's a good lap. But there's the battle for second. And Heron has got past Gurney. So Archie Heron has taken that position. Now Gurney trying a wide entrance into Wilkins. Will that give him more momentum out of the Wilkins complex onto the start-finish straight? The answer is, well, it does, but it's not quite enough. Does he duck to the inside going into Park Bend? Yes, he does. Into turn number 1. There's the move from Gurney. He makes the move stick, and Heron can't fight back coming into Cafe Corner. This is the scrap for second place. Aidan Hassan has checked out. The gap, 4.7 seconds between first and second. Through Pitts Bend, down towards Stratford. You can see now Heron beginning to defend. Into Stratford Corner, there is Watson and Turnbull. They're trying to close in, and you can just see the water being kicked up from the side of the cart. It's a very slippery down towards Stratford Corner. Coming out of the Bruno chicane, which you're looking at now, onto the Hanger Straight. Not quite as wet, in terms of there's not as much standing water on the racing line. If you watch it, and a spin there for Daniel Weir in kart number 116. That's the first spin we've had really in the entire race. It's his first time here, so he's done very well. And Sabula, meanwhile, challenging Craig Evans and the number 9 kart of Jamie Scott. That is for 6th and 7th. So the leading rookie, Jamie Sabula, he's got a 5-second advantage over Jason Ashcroft, who's the second of the rookies. But now Sabula setting about maybe trying to get into the top 6. Flashing through your screen, there's Aidan Hassan in kart number 5, your race leader. There is Gurney and Heron. Gurney defending the inside line. Heron goes to the outside, going into Stratford Corner to try and undercut him coming up the straight, but he can't do it. They've got to be careful because behind them, Watson, Turnbull, Evans, Scott and Sabula are all within a second of each other and closing in. Less than a minute to go, plus 1 racing lap. Hassan has got to just keep things steady now. Here's the main battle on the circuit. Finley Watson defending 4th place from Josh Turnbull. They are 1.5 seconds behind the scrap for second between Jamie Gurney and Archie Heron. They come into Wilkins. Gurney with that black crash helmet still leads. Heron in kart number 6. You can see the sun now shining down. It's going to be one of those days here at Shenington. Heron does a great lap, 56.772. That is his personal best lap of the race. He's trying to work over the rear bumper of Jamie Gurney's. There's Craig Evans in kart number 7. He has moved past Scott and runs in 6th position. Over his shoulder looking Archie Heron. You can see back, he's got a 1.6 second advantage over Finley Watson in 4th. Then it's Turnbull in 5th. Then a gap back to the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. Evans, Scott and Sabula. There's the number 117 kart in 9th of Jacob Ashcroft just flashing through your screen. Aaron Mensah is up to 10th. Freddie Cox down to 11th. Then it's Riley Price, Max Hall and Mackenzie Taylor. Ali Hussein runs in 5th. The 15th rather. The battle for second comes into Wilkins. The clock has struck 0. And the last lap board goes out. So Gurney has got about 1,000 metres now to try and defend second place from Heron. You can see Evans trying to defend from Scott and Sabula, also going into Park Bend. Aidan Hassan has led this one from the start. He's coming down towards the Bruno chicane now. There's the battle going into Stratford. Gurney still hanging on in the number 4 kart from Heron. Heron trying to maybe get a run out of the Bruno chicane. Aidan Hassan, we haven't featured him much on the camera. That's because he's been all on his own. He's dominated this one, but this is the scrap for second. So we can see Gurney now defending the inside line into Hanger. Watch as Heron looks at the inside into Wilkins. Will he go in the inside? Yes, he will. He'll have a little look side by side, wheel to wheel. Oh, great racing on the outside line, though. Gurney hangs it out, and respectful racing there. Hassan has won, and it's going to be Gurney who holds on to second from Heron, who tried everything at the last corner, but couldn't quite make it stick. Watson finishes fourth, just in front of Turnbull, with Evans holding on to sixth from Scott. Daniel Sabula comes home in eighth. Ashcroft is ninth. Aaron Mensah takes 10th. There's number 102 across the line. Mackenzie Taylor in 13th position. Oh, we've got a spinner down at Wilkins, and that is cart 105. That's Max Hauler, who was in 12th place, and he's reversed into the bark. It doesn't look like he's made contact with the tyres, but it obviously just in a battle going into the last corner, and he spun backwards across the line. A little bit further down goes the number 109 cart of Ruben Edwards. But it's Aidan Hassan who takes the win from Jamie Gurney, Archie Heron, Finley Watson, Josh Turnbull, Craig Evans, Jamie Scott and Daniel Sabula, your top 8. Now, because of the revised timetable, we'll be going straight down to the grid now to find out, get a couple of chats with the leading finishers.